Good morning, guys. How are you doing? I hope everyone is doing blessed on this amazing Thursday. It is the 14th of August, and this is your daily market outlook for today. I hope everyone is doing well this week, and hopefully, you guys are watching this are having a successful week inside of the markets as well. So, before we get into the charts, I just want you guys to know that the content on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing shared in my video should be considered financial, investment, or trading advice. Trading and investing always involves risk, and you should always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. Any past performances discussed does not guarantee future results, and you are always responsible for your own financial decisions. So, with that being said, let's get straight into the charts. Hopefully you guys should be able to see the screen okay. Yeah, amazing. As you guys can see, office is almost done. We've got a nice setting in the background and a nice mirror and all the other fancy stuff, plants and that. Nice table behind as well. So this is going to be my office, still is my office slash content room, which is pretty exciting. So other than that, let's jump into the news for today. We have, of course, read for the news this early in this morning. We've had Great British Pound news this morning as well. We've got US dollar news at 2:30, and then we also have 7 p.m. President Trump speaks, which is orange folder. So read for the news today with the US dollar. Well, it's already just happened. It's actually a late daily market outlook today, so I do apologize, but it is 3 p.m. here, so we just had, like I said, unemployment claims literally half an hour ago. So let's see what the markets are doing, and see if we can see anything that is basically going on as of right now. So as always, starting on the US dollar, pretty simple. You guys should be able to see that the market structure, we had this as our lower high, lower low. That was our break of structure. Market pulled back, failed to go and create a new lower low and breaking this low. And then obviously, as you guys can see, we pulled back to then go and create a new higher high. So our range is from this higher low to this higher high. Simple. Straight away, we're looking at where the market can come into in this daily demand area is, what we've talked about can stand out a lot. This last, sell candle that causes momentum up. And then we also had this imbalance in here as well. So pretty simple scenario that we always use to talk about, as you guys should be able to see and should know already. We're in that demand area, and we're also getting that movement away. So it's important to understand that, moving away from this right now, significantly to understand that we're going to break the, high here and carry this uptrending on, would be first scenario breaking this high here. That would be perfect scenario, because let's say the market does this, then you know that the market is definitely, well, not always definitely, but is going to break potentially this high and come to seek this as liquidity. So let's see if we can get that. But as of right now, let's look at the lower time frames and see what is going on. So looking at the 4-hour, you'll be able to see the market is obviously bearish as we speak. So currently, right now, the market seems to be reacting out of this 4-hour supply area. As you guys can see, consolidation, and then we had the movement down, which then the markets will naturally want to rebalance itself, mitigate a zone, and then potentially move away. So as of right now, the 4-hour for me is still bearish. We're still extremely bearish, as you guys can see. And of course, what we need to understand is it is reacting out of this supply area as of right now. So yes, we could see this market go and melt this off, either to a deeper part of this demand area, or it could just be something that just carries on downwards. So understand that we've got to follow the trend that's happening on the 4-hour. I'm just going to quickly look at the 1 hour, see if I can see anything. Of course, understand that inside of this 4-hour range, we have a 4-hour downtrend, 1-hour uptrend. Now, again, I'm going to go into too much detail, but you guys know that when we have a 4-hour range like this, 4-hour lower high and lower low, understand that in order for a retracement to happen into a demand area or an imbalance area, we need the 1-hour to obviously be, uptrending. And then obviously we want to see a shift and then the market to then carry on. Understand that, as I always say, there's always a 1-hour trend with inside of a 4-hour trend. So as of right now, you guys can see this is our 4-hour range. Market is retraced, but you guys can probably notice that in order for us to be full on confident that this is going down, we can expect the market to obviously, or we should expect the market to break this low. If the market was to react from here, and let's say the market then carried on down, broken this low here, I would be happy with saying that this market is obviously bearish. But as of right now, what I am interested in is seeing, for one, how we react from this supply zone, but then also for two, seeing how we react out of this 1-hour demand area. So I'm going to mark this out so you can understand. This is my 1-hour range. And I'm going to make this blue. No, red. Make that red. So be interesting to see, because what we need to understand is, even though the 4-hour is bearish, we've got to understand that we've got to play what the 1-hour is doing. So for me, I would be waiting to see this reaction here, because this could be, because the 1-hour demand is in control. The 1-hour is in control. Remember, we're only in, not in, the 1-hour is only in control until we have an alignment. So this is great. Let's change this market to, that's the 4-hour. Now let's say that the 1-hour is the brush line. So let's say the market is a 1-hour like this. The 1-hour is bullish, right? And we have, demand area here, and we're also reacting out of this 4-hour supply area. You have to understand that in order for the 1-hour to be in line with the 4, we need to see that 1-hour change of trend. 1-hour change of trend. So it's from bullish to bearish. Other than that, the reason I'm saying this is because this is our main area that we need to look for. We need to be looking for this first and foremost. So for me personally, I'm interested in seeing how it reacts on this 4-hour supply, of course, but then also understanding that this 1-hour demand area is also my next, I call it, issue area. So let's keep an eye out on that. And then going into the major pairs, so start off with EU. Let's look at the daily time frame. What can we see? Well, pretty simple scenario. It's the exact same, but obviously the opposite to, not opposite to the dollar. We have this as our lower high and lower low, daily change of trend. You can see that the market is obviously been bullish from this area, reacted at this daily demand, and now we're in this daily supply area. So first and foremost, from a daily, of course, we want to see the market, carry on downwards. Now, obviously understand that that might not be the case. So that's why we've got to analyze the lower time frames. So looking at the lower time frames, what can we see? Well, you can pretty see the market is obviously been, bullish. You can see the market has been bullish as of right now. My first thought is this is my range from the 4, which would be from this low here to where we're currently at. So I'm going to make this blue to where we're currently at. So that is my 4-hour range. And if I'm honest, we could mark this out pretty comfortably as a 4-hour. This is our 4-hour demand area, which is where the market pretty much come into. But as you guys, let's make it just so as it was as we speak. We come into here and then we've obviously got this bullishness away. Now, of course, first thought is, it's not as clean as I'd like. I want to see a 50% pullback. 50% is here. We're obviously deeper into that 50%, which means that we're in a discounted area. So obviously now we need to analyze where can the market potentially react from in this zone. Well, first thought is, can we see anything on the lower time frames? On the 2 or the 1? I personally can't unless we came into this deeper part here. If you look at the 4-hour, you can probably see that the reason we're slowing down right now is because we're inside of this area here, which is a 4-hour demand area. We're inside this 4-hour demand area filled in this imbalance. So obviously understand that, let's say the dollar was to, go bearish from here, then I would expect the bullishness to happen from here as well. Then obviously on the vice versa is, let's say the market is bearish from here, but then we react out of this 1-hour structure. Again, let's see if we can see anything on the 1-hour here. Well, pretty simple. You guys should be able to notice it straight away that the market, reacted from this level of demand here this morning. That's my, supply. We've broken this low. So if we do look at this next area, it would be from here. So it's the exact same scenario as the dollar, but of course, vice versa. So what I'm trying to say is, if we do get, reaction from here, we would need to see a break of this area. We would need to see a break above to then understand that the market can carry on. Other than that, my main focus is this 1-hour area, sells, because I've got to follow the 1-hour structure, even if the 4-hour is bullish. I have to follow the 1-hour because the 1-hour is the most important right now. Until that 1-hour aligns with the 4, I'm taking the 1-hour. Hopefully this is making sense. So that is my scenario. Can we see this happen here? Let's mark this out as our 1-hour range, which would be from here. Make it red. And then let's make this scenario here, this break of structure, 1 hour. So either that, we sell from this zone, or as you guys will know, as I just said, we don't sell from this zone, we carry on bullish, and then we can obviously understand that 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is now bullish. That would be my priority. Hopefully that makes sense. Going into GU should be very, very similar, hopefully. Maybe, maybe not. Let's look at the daily. So if you look at the daily time frame on GU, it's been a little bit different. And what I mean by a little bit different is we manipulated the top of this area. So we've taken the high of this area, which, as you guys should know, every high, every low is liquidity. So not only have we mitigated this zone, we've also tapped above and also took out that high. So dropping down to, well, same scenario, just so you guys know. You can see we're in that downtrend. Lower low, lower high, and lower low here. We expect a retracement and then to carry on. So that is my main thought. Is the 4-hour in alignment with that? Well, as of right now, you guys watching this, do you think the 4-hour is in alignment of that? I personally don't. Why? Because if you look at the 4-hour trend here, you can see that the market is creating them higher highs and higher lows. So pretty simple. This is our range from here to here. That's our 4-hour range from here to here. And then let's mark that out. So again, 4-hour is bullish. Now, what is the what? So again, you guys should know. Really, that's where I would have my demand, but I'm going to mark it out as this last candle here. That's obviously, you guys should know. What I'm trying to say is 4-hour structure, we'd expect this if that was to happen. Now, let's look at the 1-hour, see if it is aligning with, of course, the dollar, and it is. And what I mean by that is, well, you can see we've obviously consolidated, and then we've took out the highs, and now we've had this institutional candle, this 1-hour candle, which has had a lot more volume in this candle here. So what I would expect is, can we see potentially shorts from in and around this area here, in and around this 1-hour supply area, simply because we've had that 1-hour change of trend. Let's mark that out. So can we see the market punch above here into that? And then from there, we can make the decision to obviously um, see if we can make a decision from this 4-hour demand. So that's what I'm currently looking at. That's what I currently like. Also understand that we have taken out all this liquidity at the top here as well. You can see manipulated the highs of this, then we get that true move down. So that's what I've been looking for personally as well, which again does align with this 1-hour demand area on the dollar. Pardon me. So looking at AUD USD, AUD USD has been beautiful from the 4-hour supply area. You can see that we have this range from this high to this low. Let's have a break of structure, change of trend, whatever you want to call it. Filled in the imbalance, tapped into a 4-hour supply. So pretty simple. Let's go straight to the 4, and then we can analyze what is basically going on. So this 4-hour supply area was what I mentioned to you guys yesterday. Hopefully some of you guys, seen what I've seen. If you have it from the 4-hour, obviously at the high, you'll be around 1 to 2.6 at the moment, which is pretty clean. Of course, if you got a lower time frame entry, you would have a better risk to reward. So that's the 4-hour supply, which we are reacting from as of right now. I'm reacting really, really strong. Really, really strong. Of course, this demand area, and then we're in this 4-hour supply area in the dollar. So it'll be interesting to see how we react from this demand area here, to see if we can see any movement away. So again, if we go bullish on the 4, it'll be from here. If the dollar is going bearish. But from a 1-hour perspective, what can we see? Well, I can see pretty much we have, and it's not as clean, pretty much we have this area of supply. Maybe if a cut down to the 15, it might be a little bit more easier, I guess. But more than 1 hour, we have this 1-hour supply. So, if the market was to obviously and if it aligned with the dollar at the same timing, move away from here, that could also happen as well. Again, EU, GU for me is a lot cleaner than AU just from looking at it right now. But that's what I'd be keeping an eye on. NZ, let's see what she's doing. Go to the daily time frame, pretty much the same scenario. Just missed out on this supply area that I had. We did pretty much fill in that imbalance, but didn't tap into this 4-hour supply. So yeah, same scenario, lower high, lower low, retraced, and now can we see the market on the 4-hour align with the daily? Because if you guys look, daily, you can see pretty simple. Let's make this 4. And then if you look at let's make this a 2. If you look at this area on the 4-hour, you can already see the trend. You can already see the trend that's going on. So we would need to see this change of trend of this low. And then what can we notice? Daily's trending down, 4 hours now trending down. So let's see. But let's look at the 4 anyway. So 4-hour, a little bit different, and the reason I say it's different is because this was our range from, you got this higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We've obviously broke through this demand, and now we're back into this same demand. Obviously, this area tapped into this demand, which is what caused this bullishness. So for me personally, looking at this, I personally am swaying more towards the sells for NZUSD, but if you just notice from what I just said, this is a low that we would need to break to understand that, the market is definitely in alignment or from the daily and the 4. Even though for me the 4 is extremely just gone bearish from here. If I look at the 1-hour, can I see anything that stands out? Well, what I can see is, of course, we have a fresh imbalance here and this demand, but is it enough to then catapult this? I'm not too sure. If the dollar is going to react, let me show you guys, but let me just mark this out. If we can see some sort of reaction from, this area, you can see some sort of reaction from this area for bears if it aligns with reaction of this area, which would be, of course, the dollar being bullish from here. The dollar bullish from here, we should expect bearishness from here, bearishness from here. Simple. Simple, yet not easy. Now, next, a little bit different. You can see the market is obviously bullish. We didn't get a deep retracement from USD CAD. But if we look at the 4, what can we see? Well, we can see that the market is, well, reacted at this 4-hour demand. Then we started to get that bullishness up from here. And now we've had this big bullishness away from this demand area. So as of right now, for me, bulls are in control. Of course, we're back in this supply. So, you know, are we going to get some sort of bearishness from here potentially? But looking at the 1 hour, I would favor as well the bulls. I would favor the bulls obviously happening. So what does that mean? Well, it just aligns with the dollar. Like if the dollar on the 1 hour, you know, has a pullback from here and then comes into this demand, you know, I'd expect the bullishness to carry on from here. Of course, unless we get a deeper retracement into this 4 hour, which could happen. Again, everything when I mark at this 1 hour demand area, that doesn't mean that you should buy from this 1 hour demand. Everything revolves around the dollar. Let's say, and this is for just scenario's sake, let's say the dollar is in this 1 hour demand area. Sorry, let's say the dollar is not in this 1 hour demand area, right? But USD CAD is in this 1 hour demand. Am I going to look for buys? No, I'm not, because I understand that if my next zone is this 1 hour demand, let's visualize this. If the market is pulling back and we're here, but we're not in this demand, but yet USD CAD is in this demand area here, am I going to look for buys? No, I'm not. I'm not going to look for buys simply because I think that this could come deeper. And if that does go deeper, and USD CAD can go, that means that USD CAD can come deeper. That means that USD CAD could potentially go into this 4 hour. And if we go into that 4 hour, then obviously you've just got a stop loss, so you've just been burned. And then obviously we can expect this. So I'm just trying to show you visually what I'm trying to talk about when, you know, if I mark out this, that only has to make sense if the dollar makes sense. USD CHF, I don't like the look of at all, if I'm being honest. I'm going to stay away from that just right now. But then USD Japanese yen, I was pissed off anyway. I had a break even on USD Japanese yen, and I also had a break even on something else. Can't remember which one it was. And obviously, the reason you guys know, we expected a swing trade idea from you know, this demand area, but again, it's come back down. And then looking at this candle here, this daily candle from yesterday, from today, sorry, so far, that looks like it's taken out these lows, taken out early buyers, and now it could be its true move. So let's look at the 4. And if you look, if we literally just pull this down, where's it coming to? Well, for me, it's coming to the last sell candle. Last sell candle causes momentum. So it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen from this 4 hour supply right now. This 4 hour supply right now. And then of course, what's going to happen from, let me just text this guy. From the lower time frame. So let's just have a look at the lower time frame. Which means, you know, obviously priority right now from a 4 hour is, you know, selling from here, of course. Yes, it is. But what is the 1 hour doing? Does the 1 hour align with the dollar? Well, it looks pretty similar to me. And what I mean by that is, let's say that we do get that reaction from this supply. Our next problem area would be this area here, because this 1 hour is bullish. So that means that in order for us to have true alignment, we would need to see this low get broken here. Otherwise, we can expect this. So you got to understand that you got to play both sides of the charts. So again, let's see what happens. This would be my 1 hour zone from here. So let's see. And let's see what happens from this scenario. But other than that, guys, that is your daily market outlook for today. As always, I appreciate every single person that plugs into these. Sorry for the later upload. I do apologize. Family is over. August has been an absolutely crazy month with people visiting. I have even more visitors. I got my little brother friend and my little brother's missus coming over next week as well. So yeah, I do apologize for any slow uploads. I will try my best, of course, to sort it out as soon as possible. But other than that, guys, as always, take care, God bless, and I will see you tomorrow.